Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay, sure. I'll open. Yeah, now it is open. Yeah.
Yeah, open for me as well.
Hi, Suchitra.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Good afternoon. All right. So just quickly open the day two Power BI file, like where we
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah, sure.
So once you open the day two Power BI file, save as day three, and then let's continue from there.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lakshmi done.
Nice. How about others?
Yes, done for me.
Okay. All right. So we are good with the day three. Okay. So let's quickly just take a refresh about the day one and day two. So on a high level, to understand that we have loaded all the different files from the Excel files, which belongs to different continents. So we have taken all those inputs and then loaded onto the Power Query editor. And then we have added a custom column for each one of the continent table to in order to differentiate when we consolidate all this information into a single table, right? So that is what we have done for each one of the table. And then we consolidated into one single file or one single table that is called the consolidated table. And after after creating this consolidated table, and then just to add a little bit of more information on this data, so we have brought in extra additional information from the country master, KPIs, and then the USD converter. However, when we are doing this job, so we came across a different scenarios. One scenario where it is a direct example. So you have learned the merge query. So right, 1 minute. Right, so we have learned the merge query, and in the merge query, you also did see how do you do a single column, and using a single column as a reference, how do you bring the values from one different table to another table. Besides this, you also did see selecting multiple columns. Like in the case of the USD converter, how did you get the information from the USD converter by combining two different columns or referring
Yeah.
two different columns and then bring this information back onto the consolidated. So we are good with the consolidated table. However, during this job, when you are doing this complete methodology of merging and consolidating and everything, so in the backend, you are creating a references, or you are creating a connectivity between two different tables. So anything that you do, either it is a consolidated or either it is a merge query or using some DAX or anything, when you're creating a connection between two different tables, right? So this is called the cardinality. So the cardinality can be defined in four different ways, like one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship, or many-to-many relationship. So one-to-one relationship will clearly tell you that a unique values from one table to another table are two unique values to another table are being connected. So that is a one-to-one. Again, one-to-many, the unique values from one of the table are being connected to multiple values in the another table. That is one-to-many. Many-to-one, multiple values from one table are being connected to unique values in another table. That is many-to-many. And multiple values from one table connected to multiple values in another table, that is many to many relationship. So this is how it is being defined. So initially when you learned the merge query or the consolidated table, you were not aware of that there is a connectivity getting created. But then once after you have done and everything, and when you get into the data model view, then that is where you understood that there is a connectivity which is being created between each of the table, right?
Yeah.
So this is the cardinality. And you also did see on the model view that a large data model view can be again break down into a tiny models so that you can understand how the connection or how the connectivities are being generated between each one of the table. So this is what the possibility that you have also learned. And then on the data view, we did see how the data looks like, right? In a complete expanded view, how the data looks like is what you
Yeah.
already have dealt with. And
Yeah.
again, you went back to the Power Query, and there you have done again by adding one custom column, by doing a simple math multiplication and combining the values. And besides this, you also did created one more column, a simple DAX, which is using the if condition, right?
Mm.
Either you did see the different methodologies in the if condition, like writing a simple condition if, or using if and or, how you can create a simple column, right? So this is what we have done so far.
Yeah.
Anything else I have missed?
Um,
I guess we covered pretty much here.
yeah. I think no. Yeah.
Okay, I think I haven't saved the file last time when I have done this. So just give me a very quickly 1 minute and let me add a column which is converting the values. And we also did see one of the issues, like where Sucharita um, missed some particular portion in her database, and then how we were able to fix that information,
Correct. 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 Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That is.
Consolidated table, okay, to USD. So let me add the column, and then I would say All right, so this is in the decimal table, which is good. So we'll go to the click on close and apply. Right. So while the table is getting loaded, now what is that we are going to do today? Okay. So we are going to explore more in terms of the Power BI screen and then see what are the different kinds of options we have and what are the different kinds of visuals that we can create and how this data that you have loaded can be made more effective and can be shown up to the people so that, so before we get into that, just understand this bit. See, we are training you in terms of how you can utilize a visualization, how you can able to do or play around with that, and what are the different kinds of options. However, on the other side of the coin, you also need to understand when you want to create a certain Power BI report, right? It depends upon your creativity as well. See, if you remember, or if you would have done something on the Excel. Okay, in Excel we say it is an Excel dashboard. So we try to arrange the database, we try to arrange the slicers, we try to arrange the filters, and then make sure this looks in a better way or looks pretty good and neat,
Yeah.
right? So the presentable. So creativity will be in your hand, but options, I'll give you the complete options like whatever you have on the Power BI. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of how I did that, but that is again coming from my end. But again, the creativity is completely open up for you, so you guys can able to explore and then see how best you can able to make some presentable reports on the Power BI. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's give a kickstart with this. Now on the Power BI screen, like I said in the earlier thing, now we have got model view and then data view, which you are aware of. Now we are talking specifically about the report view. On the report view, if you click on the report view, on the right hand side of the report view, you would see it says build visuals with your data. And this portion, the white color portion, what you are seeing here right now, this is called canvas. Okay, this is called canvas. So canvas is a place where you are going to create your visuals, like how we denote the canvas to a drawing canvas, like drawing board, right? So it's a white space where you can able to put your visuals or paint anything. So this is
Yeah.
called canvas. And next to the canvas, what do you have is on the filters, which is a by default option you will see. And we'll talk about this more. And next to the filters, you have visualizations. And next to the visualizations, you have the data. Now, the place from where you are going to create the visuals, okay, the select your visuals. So visual selections will happen from the visuals pane. Okay, so you could see these are the by default visuals where you're able to see here. Okay, and then to the right hand side is the supporting data. So using this data, you are going to create your visual. So you'll select the visual from here and then pull the data from here so that you can see the statistics. Okay, so this is a basic part what you're going to see here. And then when we are moving forward, I'll keep talking about more options on this particular report view. And below that, you see a sheet name, which is called the page one. So never it says sheet, it says page one. Okay. So likewise in Excel, we say sheet one, sheet two. Here we say page one, page two. So in a report, you can create multiple pages and there is no limitation for this pages here. Okay. And whenever you want to create any change, bring any name here, you can create, you can create a custom name. Let's say I double click on the page and I say this as the home page. So you can see I can rename this like a, how do I rename a sheet? You can rename the same thing as a any name that you can create. And the plus
Yeah.
symbol denotes here where you can create new pages. Wherein right now it is not required, but we are going to do it. So just rename this to a home page.
Okay.
Done.
That.
Done.
Yeah.
Good. Now that let's give a kickstart on the visual. So I'm jumping directly onto the simple visual, like how you can do it. And let's begin with a simple visual, which is, of course, not the regular ones, what you do on an Excel, like start with a bar chart or start with a column chart. But here, let's start with something, kind of a visual map. Okay, it's a map chart. Now for this visual to kickstart, so once I create a visual over here, uh, if it is not being done, so do not worry about that. Just do let me know in case if you are not able to visualize that map visual. Okay. So first thing, let's give a kickstart. How do I go to the kickstart? So on the visuals pane, okay, row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, row number 4, and then in the row number 4, I have the second column, which is called the fill map, and I have got a map here. Okay, so I can choose any one of the map in between these two. So I'm going ahead with the fill map.
What is the difference between field map and this map?
Okay, so field map will be filling with the regions, and let's say if I go to the world map, this is how it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Okay, these are in the dotted way, and this is in a filled way. Let's go with the map, normal map, 3D map, whatever it is. Okay, now this
Yeah.
is the first thing what I have done. So while you're working on the screen, the first thing, based upon your adjustment. So when I say the adjustment, when you are thinking, you are creating the report, and then how the report visualize, you visualize for yourself, like how the report might look on your friend screen or colleagues or managers or any other screen apart from you. Okay, so here, if I look at that, I feel the space is very less. All I need to do is to just collapse this filter so that I could see the space will be little more. And if I even collapse the visualizations, it will be much more.
Mm.
If I
Okay.
collapse the data, it looks on a full screen.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to expand this data. Now that what I'm going to do is I have asked you to create a visual. Now, first thing, I brought a visual map here on this table. Now tell me how many of you are able to see this on your screens, not my screen.
Yeah, same.
I can see.
Okay, Sucharita, you're able to see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm spelling your name bad. Sucharita nahi, it's Suchitra.
Sujita.
Sorry, sorry, Suchitra. Right. Um,
No, Lakshmi, you are asking for the icon only, the field map icon,
only the
or
icon. Yes, yeah. No,
oh,
no, this one, this bit here.
okay.
On the canvas, you're able to see the map like this, the icon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now go to the consolidated. Okay, go to the consolidated table. Just expand the consolidated table on the right hand side and then look for the continent. Okay, look for the continent portion from the consolidated table and slowly drag this continent and drop it onto the canvas like this.
Okay.
And then tell me if you are able to see the map now.
Consolidated table, then continent. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible. Same.
No, it is not
Good.
visible.
What does it say?
Map and field map visual are disabled.
Good. I'll come back.
To enable. Yeah.
Yeah. How about Suchitra?
First, I need to put this field map, then I'll go for the continent, right?
Yes. But however, anyways, right now I believe that you are not able to see it. This
No,
happens.
just a second. I'll try once again. No, it is not. See.
No problem at all. I know this happens. Okay, this happens. This is an expected information. This is something that I expected, anticipated that it will happen. Now, nothing to worry about that. I'll just give you a clear direction how you can able to, play
Okay.
around with this kind of info.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what happens in this case, for some of the users, okay, the maps and field maps are not directly enabled. This is because whenever the Power BI is getting upgraded or due to some reasons, okay, this is option will not be enabled. All you need to do is go to the file on the top,
Mm-hmm.
click on the
Options.
options and settings,
Yeah.
and then click on the data source settings.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You need to go to the options and settings and click on the options.
Just a second. Yeah.
So once you click on the options, you will see a tab called security.
Yeah.
Click on the security tab, scroll down little
Mhm.
down. You will
Mhm.
see an option here called use map and field map visuals. This needs to be checked then.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. For whenever, don't get panic whenever the maps are not being appearing on your screens. All you need to do is to enable this option and then click on OK, and then retry this information. Then you will see the map updated on your screens.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Mm. If I click the continent, it will come, or I need to drag it.
You need to drag it. I mean, if you select it, it will come. However, I would recommend not to select that and keep it. I mean, drag and drop. Do a drag and drop always.
No, I just click it and it will come. It has come automatically.
Yes, it came automatically. It's but
Okay.
what happens during this time? So whenever if I want to check the continent country, okay. So
Mhm.
here, first thing what happens is first thing my map should be enabled, okay, and then my options are enabled. Let's say when I click on the country, it will come back. So now it is creating a new visual for me.
Mm. Yeah.
You understand? But your expectation is not that. Your expectation should be, I need to put within this map. Then that's the reason why I always recommend drag and drop so that you feel comfortability whenever you do this job. You will get a confidence that yes, you are dragging the right option onto the right node so that you are getting the right result.
But this continent, how it looks in your system, it not looks the same in my system. Actually.
How does it look like?
All continents are there, but it's a different looks actually. It seems
Oh,
different actually.
does it look like this?
Yeah, correct.
Because you are using a filled map.
Yeah, I'm using field map. Yeah.
So switch to the normal map.
Oh, okay, okay.
Switch to the normal map, then it will be like the same thing what you see right now,
Ah, yes. Now I can see. Yeah. Okay, you are. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Hmm.
Now, if you look at the or if you observe this map right now, whatever the continent that we have brought in, if you observe this map, do you
Hmm.
see a dots coming up
Yeah.
everywhere?
Yeah. We can see blue color dots.
Blue color dots. What does
Yeah.
this blue color dot indicate? Why not the blue color dots are not available on the other portions? It is because a simple note. It is because the data in the data view, okay, when you look back at the consolidated table, okay, and when I scroll down to the right hand side and look for the continent, you see there are 5 continents here. Sorry, 6 continents: Africa, Asia. Since your data is having a proper naming convention and then can be understandable by the Google or the Microsoft Bing, so that is one of the reason where it is automatically plotting this continents that your data is having continents, but your data is having some information related to these particular continents, and that is the reason why it is showing up. For example, you uncheck the continent here. Do you see anything on the map?
No.
Right? Uncheck the continent, everyone. You don't see anything on your map, right? Uncheck the continent, everyone.
Yeah, it's blank.
Good. Now, on the right hand side consolidated table, under the consolidated table, bring the country and then drag and drop onto the map. Now, do you see more number of bubbles
Yes.
appearing?
So I have unchecked. Then again, I need to drag, right?
You uncheck the continent and then drag the country from the consolidated table onto the map.
Country code, right?
Only country, not the country code, only country.
Country, I didn't find that.
Okay, try to do this way. Just type country here on the search.
Okay.
Do you see anything under the consolidated coming up two different options, country code and country?
Yeah, country is there. Country and country code. Yeah.
Yeah, drag the
No,
country.
no, in consolidation only country code and country master is there.
Okay, so bring the country master and then put it onto this screen, because I believe when you have done the VLOOKUP, you would have given the country master dot country. That is what the naming
Correct.
convention
Correct.
you would
Correct.
have
Yes,
used,
yes, yes, yes. Now it comes. Yeah. Yeah. The same. That in
right?
yours. Yeah.
Now you should see more number of bubbles coming up onto the map.
More numbers. Yeah.
Okay, Suchitra, can you confirm? I don't hear or see anything on the chat.
Yeah, it's coming for me.
Okay. Now you could see that there are more number of bubbles coming up here. Okay, these bubbles denote each one of the country coming up from your tables. Now let's leave this uh, portion here. Okay, let's say for example, when I click on this India, you're not going to do I mean, you're not going to see anything over here. Okay, you're not going to see over here anything. Now there could be two different methodologies like you and me think over. One, let's think for each one of the country onto this particular world map you are seeing, you might say, I'm able to see the same bubble color. Is there any methodology that I can change that? I can see multiple colors or different color for each one of the country. Is it a possible scenario? Yes, it is possible. How?
Mm-hmm.
How is it possible? So what I'm do, just watch the screen here and then execute it. I'm going to expand the visualizations. Right now under the visualizations, the first thing you need to be really aware of for these options to open, I need to select this country map. Sorry, I need to select the map. And once I select the map, you will see more number of options here. So under the location, it says country, which is good. But there is something called legend. Okay. So when I drag and drop this country from the consolidated to legend, okay, now you will see multicolor coming up onto the screen,
Yeah, it's coming.
right?
Where it is?
See, under the visualizations, under the
Okay.
location and the legend, both the country
Mm-hmm.
should be available.
Uh-huh. And listen, it is not coming.
You need to drag the country. I mean, don't use the country code. Country master dot country. Drag it onto the legend.
Oh, okay. Country, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now it is showing. Yeah.
Right? You're able to see
Yeah.
multicolors.
Yeah. Yeah. Multicolors. Yeah.
Good. But usually I'm not so interested to the multicolor. Ideally to say I'm not interested about the multicolor because it always gives a different legend. What if there is a huge database? Then what should I do? So I don't worry about that. But I'm just giving you an understanding. If you want to show multicolor like this is the option that you need to put in. So under the location, you're going to plot the data. And then again, under the legend, you're going to plot the data. Okay. So I'm just going to remove this again from the legend. However, on again, when I look at this information, now, do I see all the bubbles here of the same size or not?
Yes,
Yeah.
same
Same
size.
size. Same size.
Now, that's the first portion. Now, what we will have the thought, how is this being measured? Right now, I have not given any data that is quantified to show the size of the bubble. Okay, so for
Yeah.
example, if I am trying to plot a population for each one of the country, let's understand this way. If I am plotting, okay, a population for each one of the country, so generally in general what happens, our mind say, okay, I'm plotting the population for each one of the country. When it is being populated, the bubble size should indicate that this is a major area, and probably let's say India is having more population, so the bubble size should be more. China is having less. So the bubble size should be less. Australia is having much more less, so it should be much more less. So this is way your mind will think about it, correct?
Yes.
So the bubble size should be, I mean, the bubble size will be driven based upon the data that you are quantifying towards it. Agreed, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now on the right hand side under your consolidated table, okay, there are the column names against under this consolidated table. Against each one of the content, I mean, the column header, okay, for some of the headers, do you see any extra addition information being added? Have you
Where it is?
noticed anything? Under the consolidated table, you have the column headers here, right? Everywhere.
Yes, 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 yes.
In this, before the column headers, for few of the column headers, do you see something more here?
Yes, 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 yes.
What did you observe
Locality,
them?
More
locality,
as in,
latitude,
okay, additional fields, yes.
Not the additional
latitude,
field. I'm saying, do you observe the sigma?
sigma. Yeah.
Yeah.
This sigma symbol is not appearing for everywhere. Only for few options you are able to see the sigma symbol.
Yes. It's
Yes,
summation. It
correct.
is.
Right. The sigma indicates that this particular column is in the proper number format and this is in the summarization. So since it is in the number format, Power BI considers this as a summarization. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
For example, as I told you, in order to make sure the bubble size, in order to make sure the bubble size is should be controlled, there should be a data that needs to be quantified. Can the quantification can be done based upon the based on text values?
No, numbers are required.
Numbers
Yeah.
are required, right? So if I choose any one of the value from here, okay,
Mm.
anything, let's say for example average cost in the USD, that is what I have created a new column based upon average cost 2 into 2 USD. The result of it is being given here. Suppose for example you don't do it, just watch my screen. When I bring and put it over here onto the bubble size, okay, and put this into the average mode, now do you
Mm.
see that there is a data change in the size of the circles?
Yes, yes, yes. Based
so
on
what
this quantity. Yeah.
so what did you understand from this particular thing, whatever you have done right now?
So whichever is more, or maybe is a as a quantify, or maybe value wise, that would be a bigger size than the others.
Correct. So when you are plotting a kind of a map visuals like this, and when you want to show your bubble size, then you need to have a quantifiable data. And when you have a data that quantifies this, then that is where when you select this map visual under the visualize sections, okay, under the build visual, you will see the option called the bubble size. So based upon that, okay, based upon this, when you bring the quantifiable data on this particular portion, that is where you are going to see the bubble size here.
Yeah.
Srikant, just one question I was having.
Yes.
So how, is there any way we can find outliers? So for example, we have continent column and maybe spelling for Australia is incorrect and in numbers some formatting is incorrect. That
Right.
is not able to correctly present here.
Good. So when there is a mistake in the name, obviously it is not going to plot it. You need to go
Correct.
back and set right on your data set. It will not automatically do the job for you.
Mm.
Okay, but is there any way to identify these things? So, or manually only we can do. We can go to transform data, go to that continent column and check the count. There is six, so here also it should be six like this.
Okay. So you want to see the total data over there, like what are the data we have? It is not being plotted over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
See,
if
the best way that
spelling
you
of
can do
Australia
is,
is incorrect, then it will
huh,
not get plotted here.
the best way that you can do if you want to check that, okay, then bring the same country. Okay, right now I'm going to bring the same country here. Okay, here there is a blank canvas. So I'm going to bring the country and put it onto the blank canvas like this. And initially, since we have got the country names here, it has been automatically plotted in a map visual. So if I don't want to do this way, all right, and I want to see the data. So for that, all I'll do is select this visual and then click on either the table or a slicer. We have options here called slicer and we have a table. You can choose anything. Okay, if I choose table here, you will see the list of names coming up here like this.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Or you want to choose this as a slicer, it will also come back as a slicer. You can cross verify these names here.
And the below slicer will get connect with the above one. Is it possible?
Yes, it will be automatically connected. Let's say, for example, when I click on the Australia, it will only show Australia.
Oh,
When I
yeah,
click on the
that's
Brazil, it
great.
will show only the Brazil information. Got it?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I removed it.
So for
All right.
this page, it will be interconnected, both the divided part.
Come again.
For this page, the upper one is
Hmm.
with the world map, and the just now you show the slicer. So
Yes.
it will be always interconnected, or we need to give the interconnection. Yes.
Good. It will
I
always
think
be interconnected.
interconnection, yeah,
It
it's
will
already
always be
one to one,
interconnected.
one to many, depend on that, right?
No, 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 no. I was about to question you guys the same thing. It is always interconnected. Now you tell me, now you tell me, if you remember the topic that I have given you a discussion before, you remember, this is what the exact reason why. If you remember in my previous class, I didn't go to the Power BI or the model view directly, but I have given an example in an Excel sheet,
So
right? Now, based up, if you recollect that particular discussion, now you give me an answer because the answer is with you. Now you give me an answer the why these are interconnected.
one-to-one connection.
No, a simple sense. Don't take it so complex. Okay, just use a simple sense here. Okay, because this is a simple common sense. That we just need to use it here. No, it's not a rocket science. You
Because
can just give it try.
fields are common.
Fields are common. Something else you can put it in a better way.
Now this what I say, some of these like uh, items or what I say, these
See,
are
I'm
common.
bringing the country. I'm bringing the country onto this canvas here, and then I put it as a slicer. Okay, and now this is working. The slicer, it is the way it needs to work. It is working. So let's say when I click on the India, it is showing up the India. When I click on the New Zealand, it is showing up the New Zealand. Right now, this is
Yeah.
working, and the map visual above and these are interconnected now. The reason why.
Uh, you have told last day. Mm,
Okay, I'll tell you. See, the reason why these are interconnected and they're working together, it is because this country map visual data has been plotted from consolidated table. And this country
yes,
slicer is also bringing from the consolidated table. This is
correct.
coming from one single table, not different multiple tables altogether.
Yes, 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 yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose, for example, I remove the country from here. Okay, I'm removing the country from here, slicer. I am collapsing the consolidated table. I'll go to the country master. I'll bring the country here. Okay, and I put a slicer, the same data. Okay, now when I click on the Canada, okay, do you see the information on the Canada on the top is getting updated and Indonesia, like all this information? This is being connected because not all the data is being connected. Now you see when I click on the Australia, does it show Australia?
Why it is like that? Because if it is not connected, then it should not be showing any of the continent. Why it is?
Aha. Now, good portion. When I click on the model
Because the
view,
file is different, right?
it is coming from the different table. Now, when I look
Different
at the
table.
table here, okay, so from the
Hmm.
country master, so there is no country connected from the country master anywhere, you see.
Yes.
But on the country master on the right hand side, there is only Zomato Africa is not being connected, okay, and country master here, Asia is connected. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Now, apart from this, is there any other continent which has been actually connected to country master in any way?
No.
Because
No.
of this, when I go back to the report view, because of this, when I go back to the report view, you can observe
It's not
when I
getting
click
the
on
link.
Australia, yeah, when I click on the Australia, it is not related to the APAC, so it is not getting updated. When I bring something from the APAC, which is India, it is being connected, okay? And again, Qatar, again, this is coming from the APAC or Asia region. Because of that, you are able to see it.
Yes.
Is it clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes. So if we make the connections there, then it will be visible.
Yes. Now you see, when I go back and then click on the manage relationships, and now I could see that there is no, I mean, from the country master. So Zomato Africa, let's say I'm activating this relationship, and then again, I'll act, Asia has already been activated. So I'm going to activate the Europe. Okay, it says something different. Let me do this way. When I double click on this, okay, I need to bring both. Okay, and now it will be updated. Country because it is an
So
active indirect relationship
because
exist.
its country code is selected.
Instead of that, what I
Mm.
will do, the best thing that I can do is
Country.
just this is a country code.
Uh, so so Shrikant, this settings you did, it's a shortcut for all continents instead of doing one by one.
Control A, what I had, that is what I have done.
Okay, okay, got it.
We can do it this way. I'm going to remove this, delete this relationship. And if I bring the relationship again by doing new and then bring in Africa and then bring in consolidated, and this has already been with the restaurant ID, which is absolutely okay. And then click this, make this relationship active. Okay, some relationship is on the backend which is being not updated. Fine. Anyways, that we'll see. Let's not waste time on this, but this is a way where you can just go and click on the relationship. I think there is some relationship which is being active. So if I remove all the relationships and then do it one more time, then I think it should be able to do it. But this is the example. I remember something we have done on the back end the last time. So since the country master relationship is not active, that is not coming up from the which is not making active. So that's why it doesn't work for the remaining places apart from one particular thing. So
Yeah.
the concept is very simple. These are different tables, and you're bringing the data visual from one particular table, and then you're bringing slicer from another table. If you're expecting that it should work, it needs to have an active relationship, as simple as it. In case if there is no active relationship, the slicers will not work for that particular data.
Yeah, got it now.
Good. Now, the next portion of it, let's look at this one. What are the visuals that I mean on the map visual? What else we can learn? See, basically any visualizations that you are considering on the Power BI, remember this concept every time. Whenever you create a visual on the Power BI, right? So you will have three options when you select it. So when I select this visual right now, okay, when I don't select this visual, now do you see on the top, the build visual, and then there is a property here, or let's say the format. Now when I select this, you're going to see three different portions here. Okay, one is the build visual. Build visual will always help you to plot the information by dragging and dropping it onto this particular data. This is where you are going to authorize, or this is where you are going to decide how your visual should look like, how your data should look like on the visual portion. But on the formatting, when it comes to the formatting, you will see more number of options, and this will be the same across any visual that you are using on the Power BI. So now let's click on the format your visual. When you click on the format your visual, you will see a portion like this, which is visual and then general. Now this could vary between the Power BI version. If it is a little older version, then you might not see both the portions. You will see only one single portion, that you will see all the options expanded over here. That could be a previous Power BI version. If it is the latest version, this is where you are going to see the visuals and the general options, which are separate. So can you guys confirm me you are able to see both the portions, or is it one single portion?
Uh, where should I go? These visuals?
You need to select the map visual first.
Okay.
Under the visuals box pane, you will see format your visual, which is next to the build visual, format visual. There is a paintbrush,
Now we can see the visual
click
and
on that
general.
paintbrush,
Yeah, both are visible for me as
under which you
Visual.
should see visual and
well.
general.
General, correct.
Okay, if it is a previous older versions, then you might see all the options open. If you are say, able to see these two, then well and good. So
Visual
let's look,
and
sorry,
no, it's okay. Visual and general, it's showing same. Okay.
very good. All right, good. So then this makes much more easy. Now this give you an information. As said, the topic that I'm going to discuss with you remains the same across all the visualizations. You don't need to again have to stress more about that. But what changes, what doesn't change? The portion under the visual keeps changing for each one of the visual that you are selecting. If you are looking at a bar visual, it gives you a different information. If you look at column visual, it gives you a different methodology. If you look at table visual, it gives you a different method. But what differs is under the visual, the options will differ. Under the general, it will remain the same across any visual that you take. Okay, in general, whatever the visual you take in Power BI, it remains the same across any visual under the general portion. So you will be able to see all these six information. Now let's talk about the general. What is in general talks about? You don't need to actually take more stress about these particular options because these are not so impact. But yes, there are options which are being given. For example, on the properties, when I look at that, it decides what is the height and width of the visual should look like. When I say the height and width, okay, I can use it adjustable like this, drag and drop, or I can make an adjustment like this. So I don't need to really worry about it. So that is what it is creating a difference on the visuals of height and width. Okay. But what else I can still see on the properties? When I look at the advanced option, and here you will not, I mean, all these are like, you don't need to really worry about these more. So I would say you can ignore the properties because you can do the adjustment using your manual or like mouse or anything. So which is okay. But what else you are need to I mean, you need to concentrate on the title. If you look at the title portion, it says on, and the title is much more dynamic. When I say dynamic, it says average of the average cost in the USD by country. This is based upon the data that you are actually using. You see this? You remember you have given the quantifiable data. So the quantifiable data, whatever you have done, what I have done is average of this particular column. So that is what it is automatically creating as a title. If you don't want this to happen, you want to create your own title, all you are going to do is to go to this general and click on the title, and here you can mention it here very clearly. Um, let's say I just want to create it as like Zomato locations across the globe. You see the moment once I changed, automatically changed on the top. And now if I want to create and if I want to change the font of this, all I'm going to do is, okay, this is heading differ, which means you want to increase or decrease the font or anything. The style, this is where it is looking up. And the font size, if you want to change, I'm using a Calibri, which is I love Calibri most. And if I want to increase or decrease the size of it, this is where you can just do this. And the bold, I'm bolding it here. And then the text color, if I want to bring a format of this like this, I'm giving a different bold color. And then I think this should make sense. And if I want to give an underline, I can underline it here. Background color, since this is in the white color, this is okay. But you want to highlight with a different background color of it, this is how you can highlight it. If you want to keep it white, you can keep it white. Or I'll just usually don't do anything here. I'll just keep it normal.
So Shrikant, in the map view, can we modify that text as well?
These text you're
It's,
talking about,
yeah, is it possible?
you can switch off or switch on, but you can't change the
Okay,
mode.
we can
You can
change
change
it.
it. We'll see. I'll show you a few of the options. What are the options we have? The limited options we have here. Okay, you understood now about the title.
Yes.
See, you can play around the remaining options and then see what it actually creates, because these are self-driven. So I'm not touch basing each one of the particular visual. I mean, each and every option here. So few of the options I'll just leave it so that you can play around and then see what creates the difference on the visual, and you can take a call whenever it is required. All right. And apart from that, what else you have got? Effects, I don't think much it is required, because this is again, effects are something like, okay, here there is no border of the visual. Okay, let's say, for example, I want to create a visual border. So I'll go to the general, click on the effects, and then create a visual border on. And if I want to give a color to this border, you can just create a color like this. And you want to bring a shadow, like a shadow method here. This is how the shadow looks like, but these are like extra options that are been which are available. But as said, these are all the options you have available, and then all you need to do is to just ensure that you can use your creativity. Okay, and apart from that, on the general, uh, the tooltips and alt text, you can always ignore it because these are not of so use. Okay, I'll teach the tooltips in another place where it will be helpful. But under the general portion, what I mainly play around with is one of the titles and the effects to give the border color. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Okay. So can I look into the next options, or you need time to play around with this?
Just thinking. So what is the subtitle? Is this anything in this?
I said the subtitle will give you another title under this. You want to give one more subtitle, you can just give it.
Okay.
You see that there is an average of the average cost in the USD by country.
Okay.
These all suppress your visuals, so I don't actually enable them.
Mm-hmm. So you have put this in the legends in the country, but I have not seen this one, this option.
Come again?
In the from in the filter options, you have put in the legends country, right? But I didn't find it actually. That's the reason its bubbles comes bigger size, right?
And it should be under the build visual. It should be under build visual.
Oh, okay.
Under the build visual bubble size, there is an option.
Okay. Yeah, okay. But it is it's not coming this. Okay. So you have put the average one, right? Average.
Yes, I did put the average.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Average in USD, right? This one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are we good so far?
Mm.
What happened, Anil?
Actually, if I put in the average, that it's not. It's coming this country only. It's not coming the continent.
See, I didn't put the country. That's what I have told you. You're quantifying the text, I believe. Did put the average cost in the USD, average of the average cost in the USD under the bubbles.
Oh, okay. I put it wrong.
That is what we have just discussed. You're doing a non-quantifiable data over there.
So I need to put average cost of this one,
Average
right?
cost in the USD is what I have just updated over there.
Cost in USD. Okay. But whenever I put the average cost in the USD, it comes the city only. City means, sorry, country only, not continent.
Could you please share your screen? I believe you are doing something wrong.
Just a second. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this one I'm putting. Is this one?
Right. Scroll up a little bit.
Here?
On the visualizations, build visual. On the build visual. Okay, I think this is the location as country is okay. Okay, scroll down. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, click on that bubble size, some of the average cost, and you're keeping average cost for the two. Remove that.
Okay.
You see the average in USD that you have created a column.
This one?
Yes. And then
Oh,
click on the drop down of it.
okay.
Change this to average.
Oh, it is some.
Now it works.
But it looks like only this country, right? Not continent. As is in your case, it
Because
is
you are
only.
plotting on the country, not on the continent.
Oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah, okay, okay. Okay. Mm,
Whatever
so
we
I need,
show, that is what it is going to bring up on the screen.
okay, so I need to go to the continent, right? Oh, okay, okay. Mm,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's okay, fine.
All
Thanks.
right. So now I'm going to select this visual back and then go back to the format to your visual. Now we have spoken about the general. Let's talk about the visual. Okay. Under the visual, what are the different settings that the map visual is offering you? As I said, the visual under the options under the visual will keep changing based upon the visual that you are plotting on the canvas. Okay. So first thing, let's talk about the map settings. When I scroll down, when I open up the map setting, okay, and the style that you're looking at here, probably if you're not okay with this and you're not fine with this, then what you can do, you can change the style for using this particular option. So when I click on this, choose Arial, this is how it looks like. And when I choose the dark theme, this is how it looks like.
Okay.
And if it is a light color, this is how it looks like. And the grayscale, that is the normal option that we always, okay, not the grayscale. And this is a road. This is a roadway. Okay. So you can choose whatever you like. And this show labels, when I switch off the labels, okay, just see what is going to happen. When I switch off the labels, all the labels are gone away.
Yes.
And under the controls, okay, you don't need to check anything here or do anything because I'm going to give you one more option. So you don't need to worry about the control. But if you want the labels to show up, you can just open the labels or you can switch off the labels. I would say switch off the label and then collapse this, collapse the map setting. Let this be like a plain portion. I'll tell you where you can switch on the labels again. Now I'll go to the bubbles. In the bubbles, okay, this gives you an information where you want to bring more bubbles or less. It depends upon the size that you want to bring in here. And you want to create a different visual bubbles altogether. So I'm giving a different color. Let's say I'm using a Zomato theme. So I'm going to give them a theme related to that. So I'm using a different color. Okay, this is under the bubble. And under the category label, I switch on the category label first. Then what is going to happen? The information that you have plotted, only those fields are enabled. Because since we have plotted the country, you can see only the country names are available here. So here again, for each one of the country, you can bring in or you can bring the change using the, like you can bring the font size. You can increase or decrease the font size. And if you want to make it bold, you can make it. And you want to give a different color over it, you can give it. And the background of it, since it is black color, if I give white color, this is how it looks like. This is on the category labels. And on the heat map, do not use the heat map for now. Okay. I, I mean, this is a new option which is just created. And let me know
Done.
once you have played around with these visuals.
Done, Shivam.
Uh, we put in the aerial and then from where you got this one, this level that you have marked it with the red color.
Okay, that is under the category label. If you switch on the category labels here, you will be able to see that.
Okay, category level. And then values. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah. All of these continent are not selected. Like, if I
Sorry,
if I check the background color, but all of the continents are not colored actually.
under the category label, have you
Yeah.
selected this background on?
Yes, I have selected.
Then you should be able to see that.
Okay, that means wherever the data is there, these are the continent are being selected, or how it is like, or all the continents.
See, in your database, only these countries are there. You're getting confused between continent and country.
No, no. Now I'm in the. It is showing in the continent only.
Sorry.
Just a
See,
second.
you have plotted only the country, not the continent.
No, no. I changed already.
Oh, if you have changed accordingly, it will give you the result.
I changed, but what I'm trying to say that this all continents, it's not showing this like colored actually. That I have checked background color. I put it blue color, but it should be showing all the continents, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Continent labels, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, continent level.
If you want the continent labels under the map settings, you need to click on show labels.
Uh, show level. It is on.
I switched up the show labels because I don't require it. I just wanted to plot only the data which is there on my data model.
Oh, okay, okay. That should be switched up. Okay. Wherever the data is there, we just open this one, right?
Yes.
But in your case, what I've seen that all the like Canada, US, UK, all the continents are selected by the labels. Labels means I'm talking about this red color and background is white color, but it's not my
This is
case.
labeled. That I have given it because under the format your visual category label, you need to expand it. And here you will see the color of the label and background. I have given it white color. That's the reason why it is shown up like that.
Okay, but now you change to the country, right? You have
No,
changed to the
I've
country.
plotted only I changed only for the countries, not the continents.
Oh, okay, okay. Should I do the same thing, country or?
No, no, you can, no, you can just leave it as, I mean, I'm showing you all the options, whatever we
Oh,
have.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, now it's fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Then what else we have here on this particular visual? I said like these are the options that you can play around with the visual map. Then now let's move on to the next portion where we are going to plot the information for. Now you might have a question in mind like can I see the can I show the labels here, or since I have shown the label, can I show the values over here? No, the values cannot be shown up here. On this bubble you cannot show the value. However, if you want to show up the value, it needs a turnaround. Instead, what we do, if you hover the mouse on one of the bubble, you will see the information about it. But this is since whenever you have hold a data like this, okay, sometimes you might have a large portion of the data, right? So based upon that, what we are going to do, we are going to do some methodology over here to make sure we are giving options to the user and how it looks like. So I'll show you that option again. Now, the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this as it is. And then under the consolidate data table, under the data section here, I'm going to add one more information here. What is the information that I'm going to add? The first thing is the total number of restaurants we have across the globe. Okay, for that, what I do, I'm scrolling down, look at the restaurant ID. Under the data pane, under the consolidated table, we have restaurant ID. Okay. Now, tell me quickly, restaurant ID is a number format or a text format?
Format, text format.
Text format. So
Yeah.
remember, any text format data that we are going to bring onto the canvas, this is how it looks like. I'm just going to drag the restaurant ID and then put it down to the canvas here like this. Okay. Any data related to the text will appear like in the table format. By default, it appears in the table format. Okay. This is a usual behavior in Power BI. Any text format data that you are going to bring in onto the canvas comes in like a by default table format. But this is not what I wanted. I want to have the count of it. So what do I do? When I bring the restaurant ID, drag and drop onto the canvas, it is already in the selection mode. So what I'll do is very quickly go back and then check, do I have any options over here? Okay. In this tiny box, the drop down, when I click on that, do I have any options? So it says count distinct. So I'm going to just click on the count distinct of it. Now, when I say the count distinct, what is the number that you are able to see here?
Solid number means not decimal one.
What is the number that you guys see on your screen?
9050.
Is it
Same,
it is same
9550.
across everyone?
No,
Yes.
but I can't see this column actually. Where is the column that you have put it?
Restaurant ID under the consolidated table.
No, that is okay. That I found it, but
You need to
where
drag
should
and drop it onto the canvas.
I? Okay.
After you drag and drop it onto the canvas, under the build visual, you see the under the columns, this restaurant ID has been updated. So click on the drop down of it. You need to select the count distinct over there.
But restaurant ID it is in the columns, but it comes in my legend actually.
So put it onto the columns.
I didn't find the column. That's why I'm asking.
Share your screen, please.
Just a second. Here, where is the column actually?
See, this is sorry. This is what exactly you're doing the mistake. You need to unselect the map first.
Okay.
Click outside of the map anywhere on the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Now bring the restaurant ID and drop onto the canvas below the map. On your right hand side, consolidate it, bring it onto the right hand side like this.
Yeah.
Drop it over there.
Okay.
Now under the columns on the right hand side, change this to count.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Count distinct.
Which one?
No, click on the drop down again and then select the count distinct.
Okay. Understand. Okay.
Right. Now just follow my screen again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
See, count distinct and count, what is the difference between that? Count will give you the total number of count. Either there are duplicates or whatever. But if there is but count distinct will always give you the unique number. And that's the reason why we are relying on the count distinct. Okay. Then what I would say, do not execute anything on your screen. First, look at my screen, see whatever the options I do, then you are going to execute the same thing. Okay. And you need to be very, very, very careful about the selections. That is what my humble request. You need to be very careful about the selection. Now, on the canvas, what I'm going to do is I am selecting this count of the restaurant label first. I'm selecting the count of the restaurant. Now, what I'll do while it is in the selection mode, under the visual section, okay, below this map, below this, or okay, on the same line of the map, okay, where the maps are there, on the same line, under the fifth column, I have one option called uh, so this is a card visual. Okay, this is called the card visual. I'm going to select the card visual here. So the moment once I select the card visual, you will see this is labeled as a card now.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I'm going to decrease the size of it and then put it here like this. Now execute this and then see. Select that table and then you need to convert that into a card visual. And once after you select the card visual, this is how it should look like. So this is the second visual that you guys are playing around with.
Yeah.
So, Srikant, I have one question. So this number, it is a random number. It has picked 9550.
No, it's not a random number. It's the total number of restaurants. You can cross
Total
verify
number of
here.
restaurant related to
If I
count
go,
distinct.
yeah, if I go to the data view, okay, do you see this sales consolidated, which is 9550 here?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Okay, total number of
This is the
restaurant.
same number that you are going to see here.
Yeah, got it. And what was the difference you said between the count distinct and count? Count
See,
distinct
count
will show
distinct, the
unique.
unique values. Unique, it will count the unique values.
Okay, so even if we have 10,000 line items there and unique are 9550, it will show 9550 in count distinct, and in count all the 10,000 will be visible.
Good. Yes.
Okay, yeah, got it. One more question I was having, maybe you can take later as well. So for example, in India, if I want to divide the sector into two, so India 1 and India 2,
Mhm.
is it possible, or only one defined category will be there?
If you say India 1 and India 2, it will not be recognized by the map.
Yeah, it will not get recognized. But any possibility we have to build a connection?
You can differentiate using another column by India 1 and India 2 and then bring it onto the slicers.
Okay.
Maybe North India, South India
Yeah, got it. Additional column, and in that we
required.
can give bifurcations.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
All right. Then next thing here, let's talk about the card visuals, how we are going to play around with the card visuals here. Okay. So I select the card visual. Okay. When I select the card visual, now I'll straightly get into the format your visual again. So click on the format your visual, and then here you could see as said, like general options will always be like title, header icons, and then the tool tips. So I'm not worried about it. I'm only worried about the effect. So I'll go to the effect and give a border here. I'm switching on the border. And for this border, I'm just going to give a color, which is like a red in color. Okay. That's the only thing I'm just going to do, and nothing I'm just going to do, because I want to show this is how it looks like when someone see the information. Or let's say if I don't want to do this, I can just remove the visual border by going into the general and then click on the effects and then switch off the visual border. Okay, you can just leave it as a plain thing. So the title, it doesn't have anything because I could see the title is off. So I don't have anything but title. But what I do, I'll give a title here. I'll give my own title. So I'll switch on the title, come down. I'll say, I'll write some text. This is total restaurants. And I'm changing the font color here. I'll put Calibri and then font color it is 15. And let's say this is in the bold color. And then I'm just highlighting this and I can put it in the center so that this looks exactly the better way. And the text color, if I want to bring any kind of a text color, I can just use the text color here like this. This is for the card visual only on the general side I'm talking about. Only on the general side, title I have spoken. I haven't covered anything on the visual. But on the visual side, what I'm going to do is there is a category label below like this. This is a category label. So I want to switch off that category label. Okay, I want to eliminate this count of the restaurant ID. So what I'm going to do for that case is so I'm selecting this card visual here, go back to the format your visual and then switch off the category label. I don't want that. And when I say the callout value, the callout value is 9550 here, the numeric value. So I'll select this. And if I want to bring a, again, I'm just maintaining the font size as Calibri, and then I'm not touch basing anything. So put it on the bold and I'm just giving a color here, which is a Zomato color. And the display units can be controlled over here or either on the other space. Okay. And that's the only thing I have done. Okay. So now that what I see that this is a label, I mean, this is the total restaurants, which is shown here. Okay. Now that I'm just giving a control S so that the file is also saved. Now give a try on your screens with this card visual and then play around it and then let me know.
Lakshmi, from where you have to remove this one label? Which option? This one?
Category label.
Oh, category label. Okay.
I removed the category label because I don't want the category label to define like that, but I want to give my custom data.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. And this the total restaurant, what actually I've written that how these one move this text like up and down or maybe left and right.
Which one?
This we have written that total restaurant. Na? So
Yes.
can I move this one up and down or right and left like this?
It is on your format, your visual general under the title, you will be able to see this option.
Okay. So text color, background color, horizontal alignment. Oh, alignment. Okay. Is it? It's move only right and left and right.
Yes, there are only three things.
Okay. Okay. Okay, done.
Is it clear so far, everyone?
Yes, Shrikant.
Okay. Now, since that we have got the restaurants and these information are coming from the same table, now you just see when I click on let's say Singapore here, the portion. Okay. Do you see now the restaurants are getting changed? When I click on the United States bubble, or when I click on any one of the bubble from the top, you should see your restaurant ID is getting, your data is getting changed here.
Yes.
Yes.
When I want to reset that, all I need to do is to just select anywhere outside the map, anywhere in the map, it will automatically reset to the number.
Yes, got it.
Right? Now let's make things much more simpler. I hope we have spoken about the measures calculated column in the previous section, right? In the previous class.
Yes.
You remember the
Yeah,
measures and the.
I have one question.
Mhm,
You now we are selecting on this page. Okay, suppose we are sending to someone and they
mhm,
don't have Power BI.
mhm.
So how it will be displayed then? Because
If they don't
I
have the
mean,
Power BI, the file will
yeah,
not be open.
yeah, that's right. So this option like clicking and then it will show, it will not display.
No, the file itself will not be opened first thing.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have the Power BI, only then the file can be opened.
Okay. And is it any option that this dashboard can be open in Excel or anything, since we can transfer it? It's a just general question because if my boss is not having Power BI, even I send, she will not able to open. That's why I just.
You can, yeah, I think you can send the link that you can, or maybe the launch. You need to launch this report, something like that.
Okay, so there is an option where once your report is completed, you can export it back to the PowerPoint, provided that, or
Okay.
you can put it on a PDF document. But on the PDF document, you will not be able to see or play around with the bubbles that what you are doing it right now. They can just see a static report.
Visual. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they can also, on the PowerPoint, there is an option where you can play around with. Then again, that is very early to discuss right now. So that will be at the end of the topic.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So should we move on to the next visual?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so far what you have done is a little bit of that you are investing more time. Let's say, for example, I want to use the same card visual for something else to represent. Okay. So what I can do, what are the different options that Power BI give me? A simple method, I'll show you. See, I'm selecting this, do not do anything, just watch my screen and then apply it. That is what you need to do. Okay. So I'm selecting this card visual here, the total restaurant. I'm holding the control button. Okay. And then, I'm just doing a control C and then I do a control V. Okay. So I made a copy of the visual and then I'm just dragging it towards to the right hand side. Now, when I'm dragging towards to the right hand side, it will also help you. Like in the PowerPoint, you can see this is where you can actually see if they are in the alignment, proper alignment.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. So now that I have given I made a copy of the visual. Now what I do inside this card visual, for this card visual, just going to select that. And do you remember you have done the average cost in the USD? That is what you did. Average
Yes.
cost in the USD column. So what I want to do is to just select this average cost in the USD here. So just see what am I doing. I'm selecting the card visual here. I'm removing this field under the visuals build section. I'm going to remove this field and just put the average cost in the USD here back. and convert this into the average, not to the sum. I'll just mention it as average. And the total restaurants remain the same. So I'm going to change the title by going into the general, click on the title, and then change this to average cost in USD. See, my card visual is ready right now. It is as simple as it. The earlier visual I took a lot of time because that is the very first time I'm actually working on that visual. So it took me a little bit of time.
The average cost in USD, right?
Yes. You remember the new column that we have created?
Mm. But it is showing 103 something.
Because you are not changing this to average.
Oh shit. Oh, where should I?
You need to select under the fields here, average, select the drop down and change this to average.
Okay. And this name I need to change the same way. Average cost in USD. How do I change?
Yeah, you can change it. Go back to the title, format your visual, general, title.
Yeah, okay. Is there any option to copy and paste from the no?
That is what we have done, right? Like copy and paste from somewhere else,
Yes, yes.
like the name or anything. Yes, you can do that.
Now where you have copied from?
No, I didn't copy it anywhere. I just typed it.
Yes, yes, I will do. Okay, no problem.
Are you following my screen when I'm doing it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is what exactly I told. If you are following it, you should be able to see the options. So do not do anything when I'm doing it, because when I do, you watch my screen and then you
Okay.
can do it. I'll give you time for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is done.
Okay, how about the other two?
Yes, you can. It's done for me.
Okay, Suchitra, you're able to do it. Okay, good. See, this is one way. What we have done is copying one of the visual and then paste it and then just change the value, field value, and what change the title. That is what we have done. Now I'll show you the other way around as well. Okay, so let's say I'm doing it again from the scratch. Now this time what I have done, I wanted to show the restaurants and the average cost in the USD is fine. Now apart from that, I also wanted to show what are the total number of cuisines. Okay, what are the total number of unique cuisines that we have across the locations, what we have got, and the average rating as well. So I wanted to show both the cases. Okay, so for this case, what I'm going to do and what I'm relying on is when I go back to my data onto the data view for a while, I'm going to the data view. And here we have a column here in this consolidated table where it says aggregate rating. This is an aggregate rating. But unfortunately, this aggregate rating in the Power BI, Power Query, when we loaded, this is in the text format, isn't it? Is it in the text format for everyone?
Yeah, it is text format.
Like, how do you determine it is in the text format? When I go to the data view, when I select this column here, aggregate rating, on the
Mm-hmm.
top, do you see it says data type is text
Yes.
and the format is also in the text format? Now I want to convert this into a decimal format. So what do I do for that? All I'll do is go to the data view, select this aggregate rating, and under the data type, first thing I'm going to change this to the decimal number here.
But in my case, it is there already. Decimal number.
Okay, if it is there, then well and good. The aggregate rating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
with,
one more
with
thing, Lakshmi, that if it is a text, then I think the number should be in the left side. That is the way you can see.
yes, likewise in Excel, how you can see the data is which is there on the left hand
Correct.
side. This is what you can see the same way.
Correct.
So now I could see that this is in the decimal number and format. If I want to check the format, I am going to put the format here like a decimal number here, so that the decimal numbers are being controlled here in this portion to 2 automatically.
Yes, two. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what else I can do here? So right now it is on the aggregate rating, which is good. Now, if I move to the right hand side little bit, okay. Now the question will be, or let's say, when you are doing this job, because from the Power Query, it is till the Power Query journey, you saw these columns are in the text format. But when you switch over to the Power BI, it is in the text format. But on the Power BI right now, we are converting this column into a text format from text to a decimal number. Now, will that affect the same thing on the Power Query? Yes, it is going to do the effect on the Power Query as well. So which means when you have done the same thing and when you switch over back to the Power Query, again, it will automatically show you the current format, which is the decimal number, not the text format again. You understood what I said?
Say again once again.
See, in the Power Query tab, in the Power Query Editor tab, this is in the text format.
Correct.
When you loaded this onto the Power BI,
Mm-hmm.
this is onto the text format right now. Now you are converting this into a decimal number. In future, when
Okay.
you switch over back to the Power Query Editor, this will always show in the decimal number.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it? So this is one of the portion. Now I'll show you one more portion as well. When you move on to the right hand side, when you look at the average cost in the USD, which format is this in right now on your screens?
It's in decimal number. Decimal
It is in the
format is
decimal
general.
number, right? So it is in the decimal format is general. But
Yeah.
in general, the average cost in the USD, we want to show in the decimal format and accounting format. When I say accounting format, something like a dollar symbol.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do we change that? Now on this average cost, I'm selecting this portion here and data type, let it be the decimal number. But here on the format, do you see there is a dollar symbol available?
Yes.
When I select this dollar symbol, you will see your complete column will convert into a dollar.
Yes.
Besides this, since there is an auto value, since the formatting has an auto value, okay, you can control this to 2 decimal numbers. So I'm just going to type 2 and then press enter so that you will see everything is in a proper format of with 2 decimal numbers.
Yes.
And now what I want you to do is to just click on the report view. This will automatically show the effect on your card visual as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Correct?
Mm. Yes.
All right. So now
Yeah.
let's look at the next visual as a card visual. As I said, the next card visual, what I'm going to bring is first thing right now. I will see that the aggregate rating in your aggregate rating is in the number format. So I'm going to bring this aggregate rating put onto the canvas. And now what the difference you will find since we converted this into the number format. Okay. And when I bring this aggregate rating onto this canvas, does it show in a visual way, a chart visual,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So this is a simple way that so that by default, as I told you, if you are bringing the text, it will show it as a table. If you bring any number value, it will automatically show in the chart visual. Okay.
Okay.
So now what I'll do, I'm converting this card visual, I mean chart visual into card. So I'm going to select this and then click on the card. So I will see some number over here.
Correct. Yeah.
However, this number is a sum of aggregate rating. So I don't require the sum. I want an average here because we have the aggregate rating given between 0 to 5. So it should give me an average instead of showing a
Yeah.
sum. That doesn't make sense. So I'm converting this into the average. Now, does it show me the average value?
Yeah.
All right,
2.6.
that's good.
Yeah.
Now the next portion, what we'll also see here, I'm just adjusting the card visual here value for now. Now just see the trick here. What am I doing? Okay. Now this is in this format. I'm selecting this card visual here. Okay. I'm selecting this card visual and then click on the format painter on the top and
Mm.
apply this onto this here. Now, do you see the format is automatically applied?
Yes.
Yeah.
All I'll
But
do is
the
go to the
text
title.
is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
again
the
type the text.
title we need to give.
Okay,
So
sub.
I'm just giving
Yeah.
the average rating.
So Srikanth, the old text which is disappeared, that was subtext. Because of that, it is gone.
That is a category label.
Okay, yeah. Because of we didn't enable it, so it is
Yes,
gone.
that's a
Yeah,
category
got
label.
it.
So that's the reason why it went off. Now you understood both the ways how you can use a format painter, how you can use from the scratch and then just use your format painter.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you recollect the way, if you recollect the way that you are doing it right now, in the first visual when you have done, it took you a little bit of time on the card visual because that is the very first time that you are spending it. But
Mm.
now you're not taking it more time. You're just doing it like within few minutes, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Right. The last portion that we are going to do here is, as said, like total number of cuisines across the restaurants, unique cuisines that we want. So without wasting much time, I'm just going to do it the same way, like Control C. I'm using this visual Control C and then do a Control V and then put it onto the right hand side like this. And here I'm going to remove this average cost in the USD and then scroll down to see where the cuisines are there. Do we have anything over here called the cuisines? Okay, I have something here on the cuisines part. I'm going to select this, put it over here, and then just do this count distinct. So I will see the total number of cuisines here. So I'm just going to update the title.
You put the cousins, right?
Yeah, the cuisines.
But it is showing name.
Because you are not converting into the count distinct. When you select the card visual, you need to change this to the count distinct value. Then that is where you will be able to see.
Yeah, correct. So I need to change the total cousin. Okay. General title.
Is this done? Everyone completed now?
Yeah, done. That is done.
All right, good. So now if you have done this, now let's look at the next one. So from here on, just keep a note of whatever I'm doing. Again, as said, do not attempt anything on your screens unless and until I tell you, just go ahead and do it. Okay. See, just a quick check, just a quick check. Now we did see the total restaurants have changed when I selected one of the bubble. So again, when I select one of the bubble here, now I could see all the portions have been getting updated. So this is my quick check to understand like everything is getting updated properly.
Mm.
So now this is good. Now let's see how this is going to create an impact. First thing what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to bring the continents back onto the screen. So while I do this, the very first thing what I'll ensure, I am not selecting any visual over here. Okay. Everything is unselected. If not, you can just select anywhere so that everything gets unselected. Then I'm going to bring the continent and then put it over here onto the canvas. And by default, the continent will be shown up onto the map visual. So I'm converting this into a slicer, the one which is there below the world map. This is slicer. I'm converting into the slicer. However, on the slicer, what are the techniques that I'm going to show you? Just watch the screen. So right now I selected the slicer visual. I'll go back to the format visual here. As usual, as I told you, we have both the visual and the general. So under the general, okay, what I would be interested in is I don't require any title, I don't require any effects, or I don't require anything. So I will only use the visual border, which is on, and I will put this portion here using this red color. That's the only thing I have done on the general portion. But what else I will play around? I will play around more on the visual side. First thing, where I'm going to remove this slice header. I don't require that this is a continent. Anyone just see can able to see this is a slicer. Well and good. Then under the slicer settings, under the style, instead of the vertical list, I'll put it as a tile. So this comes as a tile here like this. This comes as a tile. And the selection, when I say single select, what is happening is I can only select one continent at one time. If I force this value to on, I can only select one at one time. No, I want some option like select all. Then you can choose this option called the select all. Everything will be selected. If not, by default, multi-select will always be there, which means using control button, you can select multiple continents as well. This is a similar option that that you witnessed in Excel if you would have played around. This is a similar option. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just doing some sort of adjustment like this. You see now the moment when I contract it here, when I'm just contracting, this is just little getting updated over here. Okay. So I can reduce the size of the slicer like this. The moment I'm reducing the slice and trying to adjust it here, okay, you can witness it is going to update the same way. It is showing you the same method. Okay. And then I'll go back to the format slicer. And then on the values side, now here I can change the font size, increase the font size here. It gets increased. And then bold. I mean, you can choose around like whatever you want to do this. You can choose around. So I've done this way, and the border for all this, you want to have a border. When I say border, this is for the label border I'm talking about. Okay, you can remove them or you can keep the same thing. Okay, or you want all the borders to be there, you can put it. And background, you want to change any background color for this, you can change. Let's say for example, I give the background red, then my font color will be in a white. This is how I can do it. And just see, now this is your slicer completely entirely. Now I'll give you time to play around with this. Just take some time and then play around and then see if you're able to finish this.
Actually, from where you have just squeezed this one, this in a one column. How do I do this?
You need to choose the slicer settings.
Okay.
Under the slicer settings, you need to choose the style as tile.
Yeah, that I've chosen. Yeah, then.
Then you can just reduce it, like you can play around with this four corners.
But when I squeeze it, but it is not coming the one column actually.
You need to
One.
reduce the space and then increase it, because what I saw on your system, your space is more. I mean, very less.
Now it's coming. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So Srikant, is it possible to remove that blank box?
This blank box can be removed. I believe this is coming from the data. Somewhere on the
Yeah, it's
data.
defaulted.
No, there is something on the data, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess,
blank
based
cell
upon the
should be
data.
there. So blank will come, I think.
Let's see how the blank is coming up. It should be based upon
It's
some
only
data is missing
6.
somewhere. I think we need to figure it out where there is a blank.
The tab color. How do I change this one? This all the content tab color that you have changed in pink color.
You can select under this values. It will be under the values. Background color, font color, everything can be changed over here.
Values. Border background. Hmm. Yeah, it is done.
Right?
Yeah. So in the data view, I think there is a blank. That's the reason it is coming blank, or
Yeah, I
in
think there
column.
is a blank somewhere. That is the reason why it is showing up. We need to just figure it out where it is. I will look after that. So for now, you can just leave it as it is.
Mm.
So if you have done this successfully, just click on any one of the continent. You should see the numbers are being updated. And the map is also changing accordingly.
Yeah, it's showing.
Does it works for everyone?
Yes. So select and deselect both are the same item. If I select this, I need to select this one particular and deselect, and the same one I need to click on it. Right?
Yes. All right, works for everyone.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We'll just leave this portion here as it is right now, and then we'll just take a 10 minutes break and then regroup. And what we are going to do is, after this, I'll show you a few more information on this, and then we'll just close this particular portion, then move on to the next portions.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now you're able to get this flavor of the Power BI, how it actually works in, and how it can be shown up.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. So I'll stop this screen sharing here, and we'll just go for a 10 minutes break and then come back. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait for Samir and Anirudh to come back.
Okay.
Are you able to follow, Suchitra? You have got any questions?
Uh, yeah, some of the, but what I think I will do, I will play with my data and then I will ask.
Yes. I mean, it needs a practice compulsory. Otherwise, around you're not going to get this completely hands-on experience.
Yeah, Lakshmi, I come back. Yeah.
All right, good. Samir?
Sorry. Yeah. Lakshmi, actually, sorry to say, today actually I need to go a bit early. Actually, maybe I will stay another half an hour or something. I'll have a some
Okay.
assignments. So
Okay.
maybe I'll.
Probably you can follow the recording then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Is it possible today to, because today is a Father Day, so even I do visit to my father. That's all.
So at what time you guys want to leave then?
Uh,
uh, I need to leave by another half an hour. After another half an hour.
Yeah, okay. Sure, we'll try to wind up by 5 o'clock then.
yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
5 o'clock. That means my time.
45 minutes it is.
Now what is the time? Just a second in India.
4:15.
4:15. Okay. It's fine. No problem. Yeah, yeah.
You're in which country?
UK, London.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what's your time now? It should be somewhere around morning time
Yeah,
around
yeah.
10,
11:30. Yeah.
11:30. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So let me
Srikant,
share my screen.
I just have one query. Maybe I'll just share
Yes,
my
Samir.
screen. The filtering part I've done, but somehow few filters are not working. Just let me know once my screen is up.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so if I do no selection, this is the view, and
Okay.
also format painter is not working for this tile. So if I just click the previous one, format painter, and click on here, it's not
Will
getting
not work.
applied.
The reason because you are in the table format. You didn't convert it into the card visual.
Yeah.
Okay,
So select that tile and then convert into the card visual. Then go to the build visual
Build on.
and then
Inside
select
the
on
card.
this. Yeah.
now okay, this is done. So now, yeah, okay, got it. Now below things are also working. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let me share my screen back. Okay, so far what we have done, we created the visuals and the slicer. Okay, just to add a little bit of flavor to this particular kind of visuals. Okay, so what the best you can do when you're presenting it, when you want to make it a little more comfortable to the audience to say. So this is not required 100%, but this is just out of the box thinking, like you can do it this way. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to I want to utilize the space a little bit here by doing this method. So I'll go to the insert tab on the top. Okay. And under the insert tab, there is an option for me called image. Under the insert tab, elements group, the option called image. So I click on the image and it will redirect me to ask me to select one of the images. So within your data sets, within your images folder, I've actually given two images for you. Okay. So I'm just using one of the image where the guy is about to start. So I'm using this image one. Click on open. I'm just reducing the size of this and I'll put it here.
From the insert, right?
Insert image. Yeah.
Insert. So I'll get it insert then.
Under the insert tab, elements group, image.
Okay.
Okay. Again, the same thing in insert elements group image. I'm using a second image where the guy got settled now. So I'm just using the same thing here.
But in the image, there is no images there in the case studies.
Image folder should be there because I have created one.
Yeah, it is there, but there is no image in the folder.
No one have images.
I don't have.
I'm able
Yeah,
to
we
navigate.
have, yeah, we have the image.
You have the image, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Anirudh, could you please give a try one more time?
But there is no image in my folder actually.
Surprising.
Uh, Actually, when I copy and paste this folder, that time it is removed or what? I don't know.
Just check. It should be there, ideally.
Just a second. I'll check my email as well.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can just check that again in case if you have it. Okay.
Mhm.
But this is just I'm doing some sort of adjustment here so that
Mm.
this looks much more better. You see?
Yeah. Mm.
And now I mean, if you ask me like what is the what is that we can do with the images? What is this helpful? In fact, see the best way that you can do when I created an image over here. Okay, so what I would expect the moment once I click on the image, okay, onto the right hand side under the format, there is an option here called the image and there is an action point. So when I click on
Mhm.
that action point, click on yes. When I click on the drop down, okay, so you have multiple options over here. Okay, now what I would say, I just want to say click clear all the slicers here. Okay, and then leave the portion like this. So what does that mean in? Now when I click on the name, most of them might not understand very clearly. In order to clear the slicer, again I need to click on the name. Now what I would say, when I click on this guy, everything gets reset. I repeat it
Sorry.
one more time. I'm
Yeah.
selecting this image, the first image here. I'll go to the right hand side under the format. There is an option called the action. So when I click on that action, under the action, there is an option here called clear slicers and apply all the slicer.
Okay.
So I'm choosing clear slicer and then click on OK. I mean, there is no option like OK. So click on the slicer. That's fine. Choose that option. Now, when I switch on Europe, okay. Now my map is set to Europe. However, if I want this reset back, what I need to do is I need to hold the control button and click on that image. This will automatically work. Does it have to happen every time? No. When I deploy this to the online Power BI service, and once they click on this image, it will automatically work. But in the Power BI, just to understand how does it work on the Power BI online, to know the only option is whatever you do here, you need to use the control button and then click on that so that you can see how the action point will work.
But Oh, so what you did, like select and deselect, that we can do in the tab as well. Why do I choose this image only? It means
Which
what
tab?
is the relevance of the this image with the tab that you this
Suppose,
slicer
for
tab?
example, when I click on the Europe, now this
Yeah,
is filtered for Europe.
yeah.
How does someone understand? How do someone understand that only when I click on the Europe, this will clear off? Or let's say, for example, I'm selecting Africa, I'm selecting Europe, I'm
Okay.
selecting SAM, I'm selecting three options. Now I need to
Hmm.
reset this back.
So I can tab three options. That would be
Instead
the.
of that, when I click on the image directly, this will clear off everything.
Oh, okay, okay. So one go we can do this
That's it.
from the image. Okay,
One go
that's
you
the
can
advantage.
give, and then that and you know when there is something like that, people can feel this is good option to play around.
Mm.
Like we become kids when we use this kind of tools, right?
Yeah, it's kind of fun actually. It means
Yep.
not yeah. So it looks actually really nice to
Little bit of professional way, but
correct.
you're
Yes.
also adding more advantage over the, I mean, you're adding more.
Shrikant, this
Yes.
multiple selection, is there any shortcut for that? Since you
multiple
selected Asia and
selection
Europe.
Multiple selection will happen using control button. You hold the control button on
Okay,
your keyboard, select multiple options over here.
yeah, it's happening.
Yes.
Now here, when I select this, I will also see similar options under the action. However, right now, my intention is when I click on this, my intention is to go to the next page. But since we have only one particular page here, so we cannot do anything. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm going to create a simple page here. Click on the new page. Okay. And just I'm not renaming or do anything, just leave it as page one. I'll come back to this place and select this image and now click on action. Under the drop down, I will say go to another page, which is called page navigation. So select the page navigation. It will ask me which page you want to go ahead with. I'll select page one and leave it. Now see, when I click on this, it will not action anything, but when I press the control button and click on this, it will go to the next page.
Yeah, it's working. And for the first image, what was the type you have used?
On the first image,
Yeah,
the first image, the type was clear all slicers.
no, actually, if you select first image and go to actions drop down,
Okay, select the image, click on the action drop down, clear all the slicers.
clear. Actually, that option I'm not getting
Maybe I guess this is again with the
because
version
of old
issue.
version. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Got it. No problem.
Yeah. All right. So this is how your first page is created. However, is there anything else that I need to add more? Yes, I'll add little bit of more information. Now just watch my screen. Do not do anything. I'm going to select. Okay, I'm going to select this map. Do you see the Zomato location across the globe? Apart from that, in the border of this particular map, in the border, do you see any extra information or any other buttons apart from filter and another button focus mode?
Where you are asking?
See, I'm select. Just watch my screen. I'm
Yeah.
selecting the map visual. In the
Okay.
border, apart from the filter and the focus mode, do you see anything else? Any other buttons?
There is a in below there is a filter or something is there. Three button
Yeah,
is
apart
there.
from
Yeah.
these two, anything else you are able to see?
No, no,
Nothing, right?
no.
Now just watch the screen carefully. I'm selecting the map visual, and what I do, I'm going to bring the city and put it under the location here. Okay, under the location, I'm
Okay.
just updating the city. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now I
Mm-hmm.
hover the mouse on the map. Now, do you see any extra labels or extra things?
Yeah, many, many. Like there is arrow, the double
There are
arrow, and
arrows over here.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you how these arrows are working and why is this arrows meaning. In general, instead of saying this as arrows, what you need to say, these are called drill down. This is called drill down feature.
Okay.
What does the
Mm-hmm.
drill down feature will help you? Drill down feature will help you to deep dive or dig more into the data, so that this will actually help you more in terms of creating the data values. Like how this is going to work out. See, for example, when I click on the Asia, I know the Asia, it has been zoomed under the India, isn't it?
Yes.
And we have got multiple locations. Now that what is just going to happen, I know that it is overall Asia. This is giving me the picture. Now, when I want to click on India, it is giving me the information for India alone. But ideally, what my expectation is within India, can I deep dive more? So is there any possibility? Then the possibility comes into the picture where in this particular arrows, these three arrows, what they say, the first arrow, it will open the complete hierarchy. When I say the complete hierarchy, now the moment once I click on this, you will just see how the map becomes.
Oh, okay.
You're seeing more extra information like under the city level, but this
Mm.
is like too much heavy.
Yeah.
Now I switch back to the up portion of it. Now this is under the country. Now what I would like to see, instead of doing that way, can I go step by step like country, and then can I get into the city level? Yes. For that option to enable, what you need to do is you have an option here called drill down. Okay. The second arrow, which is down arrow, you need to always check this. So you need to click on this. Once you click on, you can observe this is right now the on the background there is a black portion enabled.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is something like switch on and switch off. Okay, right now this is switched on. Now let's see how this is going to create an impact. Now, when I click on the Asia, now it's zoomed into India, correct? When I click on India, where is this? Yeah, when I click on India, now you see it is zooming inside the city.
Mm. Okay. Mm.
Now let's say when I click on the Europe directly in the space, there is no portion. Fine, I'll drill up, and then when I click on the Europe, I have now United Kingdom. When I click on the United Kingdom, now you see it is zooming inside the city of this every city of the United Kingdom country.
Mm.
Let's say I'm going to see within the city the locality as well. So I have locality here. Bring the locality and put it onto the under the city. Now I have the layers like country and then city and then locality. Now let's say I click on the um Asia, and then let's say Singapore. Now under the Singapore, it will again, when you click on that, it will show you what are the different localities we have the data for.
Localities mean that is the third one.
That's
Which
the
one?
third one. That's the third one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm, it is coming here. Yeah. Singapore, okay.
Now you understood like how this can be played around with.
Yeah, but
Yeah, what happened?
Got it.
drill down. Okay, so I need to always select the drill down option, then only it will come, right?
Yes, that's what I have told you. Like it's like a switch off, switch on.
Okay.
If it is with a black portion, then it is on switched on.
But whenever I select this, I, now if I select this, for example, Asia, okay, then I can see. But whenever I wanted to select the another continent like Europe from the tab, but it is not coming.
That is because ideally what is happening
Hmm.
when I click on the Asia, okay,
Hmm.
now I'm able to see it. I just need to
Go,
go one step ahead. Let's say, for example, I clicked on Sri Lanka. Now it is showing the data for the Sri Lanka.
yeah. But if
When
you change the tab, then
if I change to
tab this from Asia to Europe, then select Europe.
in Europe, if I click on the Europe, it will not immediately give you the result. The reason
Correct.
being you're on the
Yeah.
city level. What it is understanding that within, okay, what you say, first thing when I click on Asia and when I
Yeah.
click on Sri Lanka, the data is
Correct.
filtering for the position. Now, when I
Yes.
switched over to the Europe, it is assuming that there is a data by name Sri Lanka in the Europe. So it is giving you the blank values.
Okay.
When I click on
Then
the drill up, when I click on the
hmm.
drill up, it will again go.
Oh, then we need to go to the drill up option. Okay.
Yes.
But it is not okay. Then you need to. But in Europe, there is nothing is showing.
See, when I click on the drill up right now in Europe, United Kingdom, it is showing up for me.
For me, it is not showing up. And I put it country, city, and locality also I need to take.
Yeah, if you put the locality, it will go under the locality level.
It's okay, but I have already taken country and city. Then it
It
should be
should show
showing.
the city. It should show the country level at least.
No, it is not showing. Okay, so drill up. No, for me it is not showing. I'll show my screen. Just a second.
Yes. Yes, please.
See, whenever I'm in Asia, for example, if I select this one, an example this one.
No, this is a complete hierarchy you're looking going up. Okay. So your drill down feature has already been enabled. So just click on the drill up once.
Okay.
All right. Now
No,
you're in the Asia. Select any one of the Europe.
Europe. Okay. Now, sorry, drill up.
Click on NAM. Okay. Come back to the Europe. Just click on the drill up one more time. Oh, there is nothing. Okay.
So should I put it in the continent as well here? Because I have selected the only.
No, select the.
Because
No. We are
for
good
the
in this.
yeah.
Select the map,
For
country and city, and the locality is not required. But then it is not showing you because this continent, whatever I see, select the continent again.
I need to put it here.
No. Just continent slicer.
Nothing is showing. Only Asia is showing. Why?
Just a minute.
Keep all filters.
Go to the model view. No, in the model view, there is no portion that you need to do it. Go to the data view. Just come to the right hand side a little bit. Show me the continent column. Put a filter on the continent column. Okay. Okay. Cancel. Go back to your report.
When I changed this continent to country now, it got disconnected from all. Earlier, mine was here, not country. It was
No, select the map. I believe something would have been done wrong with the map or something. Go to the format your visual. Bubbles, map settings is not required. No, everything looks okay. I can't take a control of your screen.
Yeah, please.
How do I take the control? I'm just looking out for the control option. It should be available usually.
I'll check for me.
No, I can't take because you're using the web.
Yeah, I'm using the web.
I got it.
Now, if I put, for example, I'll just show you. Just a second. I'm just showing you. Here, instead of country, okay. Where is the continent?
No, don't bring the continent. Continent will not help anything because okay, yeah,
No,
just try the continent.
Put the continent, it comes. You see?
Okay, yes.
But when I put the country, it does not come. So
just put the country over there below that.
Okay, where is the country?
Below the country code, it is there. Country master dot country.
It is cousin.
No, above that. Yeah, now I understood what it is. You took a wrong convention. I know. Just below above the cuisine, there is a country master dot country. You need to bring that one. You haven't brought in. You didn't bring that.
This one, huh?
Yes.
That's why actually.
Now you remove the continent.
Okay.
No. Bring the continent back. Just do a Control Z.
Okay.
Again Control Z. Okay. Just leave it as it is. Select the map.
Okay. Yeah.
In the map, remove the continent.
Okay.
And then bring only the country master dot country. Now it should work. Now you bring the city also.
Okay.
You brought the country from some. No. See, this is where you're doing. No. This is where you're doing the wrong every time. You're not selecting the map properly.
Sorry. I got it. Now I put the city. Okay.
Now you switch on the drill down feature.
Yeah.
Now you try connecting anywhere. You should be able to see it. Click on the name.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. And on this.
right?
Why it is not showing these others? The
Because it is
sand
already drilled down,
and
and
drill up.
that is only till city level.
Oh, only one city is there, huh?
Yes.
Ah, then okay, fine. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
All right. Now you are able to see this, right, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Now the next portion of this, what we are going to take a look. Okay. So go to the next page and then just rename this to statistics. And come back to the home page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this portion here. This portion, the slicer and all this, copy the same thing, go to the statistics and then paste it here. And then when it say sync visuals, you will see a message called sync visuals. Just select don't sync. When you click on the sync, what is going to happen? When you put a slicer here or when you filter the data, automatically the home page will also get sliced.
I need to
When you click
paste it
on,
here.
sorry,
I need to paste it here. Copy and paste, right?
yes, just copy those visuals and then paste it. Then you will see the same thing here and you will see a pop-up message sync slicer. Click on
Don't
don't
sync.
sync.
Yeah.
So that this slicer will act only for this particular data. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's see. Let's just build a simple thing here. So far you have dealt with the map, right? Now what I would say right now, since we already have the continent and the country, now I'm going to bring only the data related to the city and city. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to bring the city and then from the consolidated table, bring the city and then drop it onto the canvas like this.
Yeah.
I know it shows in the map visual, but convert that into a table visual now.
Yes.
Okay. So now here you are going to see the table visual everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Then on the next portion, what we are going to do is I'm also going to bring the country onto the slicer. I mean, going to bring the country. Now, when I'm bringing the country, now make sure that I'm not selecting anything over here. Okay. No selection. I'm going to bring the country and put it over here onto the canvas before left hand side. And
Yeah.
it shows on the map level. I'm going to change this to the slicer.
That's the way.
Okay. Now see what I do. The slicer, okay. I'm going to select the continent slicer on the below. Use the format painter and then just select it over here. Now you'll just see the beauty that it converts into the proper slicer method just in a minute. You don't need to put so much of effort over here.
Uh, Lakshmi, when I select this country, put it in the canvas, so it is showing only to Canada and United States.
Because somewhere you might have already selected the slicer here with a filter. Remove the filter.
Filter.
I believe something would have been filtered here.
Mm,
I think
okay.
your NAM is selected.
Yes, yes, yes. How do I?
Just select on the NAM. Or either you can use this image to clear the filter, it will go off.
Image actually I couldn't find. Okay, no problem. I now got it. So now it is a slicer, and then I need to change the format.
Yes.
So how do I do that? That one you told, I just missed it out. This one. I just select
Which
the format painter and put it the same way in the. Yeah, it's done. Okay.
you're able to do this entire structure.
Okay. Yes, done it.
All right. So
Yeah.
now that we have the table here with the statistics, okay, what I
Right.
would say, what I would say, how many, okay, how many of you remember the measures?
That's yeah. That is inbuilt actually
No,
in
you
the.
remember the measure, or you need a refresh?
Yeah, I remember that.
How about Samir and then Suchitra?
Uh, Majors, I think if you can show it once to be refreshed, maybe we know it. But
You remember you have done the calculated column?
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of calculated column, I have already shown you one measure.
Yeah, majors. So selecting one particular category which is predefined for
Right.
me.
So for example, in this portion, you remember what you guys have done over here, everyone?
Yeah, it's
What have you done? You brought in the restaurant and then put a count distinct.
correct.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
And then here also average cost in the USD brought in change to average.
Yeah.
Average rating, you brought in the column. Now, instead of bringing the column and then doing that change, I can create a measure. So for example, right now, what I can do, I'll right click on the, okay, you watch my screen, we'll do it. So on the consolidated, I click on the right click here on the consolidated. I have an option here called the new measure. Okay. So I click on the new measure. I click on the new measure. So it is still working on that.
From
So on
where
the formula, sorry.
consolidated and new measure. Okay.
Yeah. And then for this measure, what I'll do, I'm just going to rename this as a restaurant. Okay. And what I will say, what this measure should calculate, it should tell me what is the average of, okay, or let's say, instead of average, I will say distinct count. Okay. I'm going to type the formula called distinct count, and it should tell me the distinct count of all the average from the consolidated table. So this is a consolidated table restaurant ID. Okay. So it should tell me the distinct count of this restaurant ID. So whenever I say the restaurant measure, it should always tell me the distinct count of the consolidated restaurant ID. Now that the measure is ready, what I'm going to do is to just drag and drop this restaurant onto the table now, into the table. Now, do you see this count is matching with the first previous page count?
Yes. Same.
And now you can see the bifurcation for each one of the city. So in each of the city, what are the unique distinct counts we have?
Yeah. This distinct count the consolidated for average in USD, this one, right?
It's not an average, it's a distant count. It's a distant count of all the entire restaurants.
And that
But this is
formula.
since we have brought in by the city, it is divided, it is giving you the bifurcation by city here. But at the end, the total still shows 9550.
No, no, I'm asking that that formula you put, na, measures the distinct
Right.
count you put.
Yes, I use the distant count as a formula.
Okay, that is that distinct count, and it is a consolidated for the
The
restaurant
distant
ID.
count, yes, for the consolidated under the consolidated table, under that the column restaurant ID, it should tell me the distant count of it.
Restaurant ID. And then I need to select this restaurant ID. Okay.
Yep.
So distinct count is every city count and then the sum.
Yes, that's good.
It is not coming.
See,
So
whatever you
Srikanth,
have done on the yes,
how can
yes,
we
Amir, go ahead.
manage measures? Because I've created it, but somewhere it is already created, but it's not visible there under
So you should
city.
see the name. You should see the name. You see here, there is a symbol. This is how you can
Yeah,
identify that that is a measure.
yeah,
No,
it's reflecting, but how can we attach it
No,
to
just
city?
drag and drop. Drag and drop.
Oh, okay.
so we have to rename this measure, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now the count is matching.
I mean, rename in the sense like you are going to give a name initially when you do it. See, again, what I am going to do, just see this. Average cost in the USD. Okay. So for this, I'll create a measure. Instead of doing all this, I'll create a measure. How? Right click on the consolidated, click on the new measure. Okay. Then it is going to say working on it. Now on the formula bar here on the top, it says the measure. I'm going to give a name for this measure now.
Oh,
Okay. I would say
this is
USD. I'm going to give a name called measure USD. Then after is equal to, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, okay, tell me this is the average of what it needs to count, that it needs to give me the average of the consolidated table average cost in the USD. So this particular column, it should tell me the average of this. So I close the bracket and enter. Now, the moment once I click on the enter, this is in the USD, right? So you will see as per the alphabetical order, it comes into the below T, and this is where the measure came in. Now, when I bring this measure and then put it onto my table, okay, it should tell me the same number because I'm using the measure. This is the one what you have done here is a direct method. What I'm doing here is an indirect method.
oh, okay.
So here again, if I want to do the same changes like dollar symbol and everything, all I will do is when I select this measure here, okay, on the top you will see the measure tools. So I'm going to just put it over here. What is the format of it? The format of it, I want this as a currency. So I'll change this back to the currency, and then I'm going to
Okay.
increase this 2 columns or 2 decimal points. So this is how it looks like.
Instead of measure, we have to put USD in measure.
I mean, instead of measure in the sense, when you type measure, you can write your name, but when you press enter, it will consider as measure. Now again, another measure you will create, it becomes as measure 1. Another measure, it will create measure 2. Instead of getting confused about what are the measures you are doing, if you give your custom name over that, you can identify that easily.
So, so in the second one is average cost in USD, right?
That is what I have done. Average cost in the USD.
Okay. Now it is done. So average cost in USD. What is this USD in measure? Okay. Well, I can put it here. It is showing 10.82.
Yep.
But why it is showing in the all cities the same 10.82? Why?
All the cities are the same. No, it
Yeah.
cannot become like that, definitely.
I think I've done some mistake in the formula. USD in measure equals then in bracket consolidated average cost in USD. Correct? Is the one?
Yes, and then close the bracket.
Yeah, it is closed here.
What is the name of
So
the measure you gave?
USD in measure.
Then you need to bring that onto this table.
Yeah, I have brought it already.
Then share your screen. Let me see. It cannot be like that.
Okay.
I know this will take a lot of, I mean, this might take a little bit of effort, but if you look at this, this becomes much more easier.
See, if you
Uh,
see,
huh.
sorry. Oh, yeah. If you see, this is restaurant, okay, and USD in measure, this is the one that I put the formula. This one. Now
Okay,
when I
because okay,
drag,
onto the right hand side, just scroll up a little bit and then show me what is cost in the USD, average cost in the USD.
this one.
A little bit above. I know.
No.
No. Wait. I know because you have created a custom column on the last class. Whatever I have told you, you have retained that, and I believe you are using the same thing. What you need to use it average in the USD, the sigma column. So you need to tweak your formula over here on the
Oh,
formula bar. You need to select the average in USD, not the average cost in the USD, which is a calculated column. That's the reason it is showing you the 10.8 everywhere.
okay. Which one is one? Average?
Average in the USD,
This one, huh?
the third one. Yeah. Close the
Oh,
bracket.
oh, I didn't close the bucket. Shit. It's closed here.
Now you
And
see.
now it's, yeah. So that, okay. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Done for me. Okay. You're able to hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll stop it here, and
Yeah.
then what I would say. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Please continue.
No, I'll stop it here. What I will say that you guys go back and then practice it one more time again. Whatever we have done now on the home page, you have got two
two more database, right? One is on the total cuisines, and you also have the average aggregate rating. Now,
Yeah.
take this as a homework. On this statistics page, on the table, create two more measures that can count the total distinct of the cuisines and also the average of the aggregate rating, and then bring it onto the table using the measure.
Using the measure. Total distance of the cuisine, and another one is
Average of the aggregate rating.
average of aggregate rating. Okay. The same table format. In the same table format, I need to.
Yeah, put it in the same table format using the measures. Okay. So that you will get a hands-on experience on the measure. And then what I would also say, with this knowledge, whatever you have gained, go back and then apply it on your real-time data scenario, and then try to build a simple
So
Power BI report like this.
so we need to, okay. So we need to put it in the same table for this totally distance of the cuisine and average aggregate of the rating.
Yes, on the same statistics table.
Statistics table. Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Sorry.
Anything else we need to do?
No. Just practice it. The whole thing, whatever you have done today, just practice it. Okay.
Okay.
Samir, I guess Anirudh and Suchitra, they want to leave early.
Okay.
Okay. So next week,
Okay,
what?
no problem.
Yes.
We'll extend next week, you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'll do, because otherwise around we cannot
Sure.
able to cover up the things.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But practice, do practice. Please, I would say do practice. Do practice. Otherwise around, you are going to lose that focus again.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Lakshmi.
All right. All right. Thanks everyone then. Have
Yes,
a good
bye.
weekend.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.